What is love? And how do you know you love someone? Is it the feelings and the butterflies, that comes in your stomach? And how can you tell they love you too? If it is love, then why do you feel hurt? All this and more on today's episode of Kinging with Doreen. Like the sun rises in the day and the calmness of the moon at night, so does your love quench the thirst of my soul. Is that your kind of love language? Or is it, take this dollar, my love, go get yourself whatever you want? Is that your kind of love language? Or, my heart longs to see you spending my money? Is that your love language? Does that sound like love to you? Now, what is love? Let's take a moment to think about it. Many times we've thought about it in a selfish way, and we think it's all about us. Us. We think it's all about us. I mean, like the person. Like, what do you have for me? What am I gonna get from you? Things like that. How about this other person? What should you do for the person? I bet most people don't even know the true definition of love. They define it as an emotion or an affection. I'll give you a definition of how I define love. Love to me is putting a whole different person before you, before yourself. It's doing unto others what you want somebody to do to you. Treat them the way you want to be treated. Talk to them the way you want to be talked to. Hold them the way you want to be held. And to shock you, even treat them better. I like to refer to the greatest love story ever in the universe. A man committed a crime and was sentenced to death. And the one who loved him couldn't bear it, so that other person decided to, die in the place of the person who has been sentenced. And because of that, this person who was sentenced was hereby declared free, since there's somebody else who was going to be taking his place. The only thing this friend required or said or needed from the other person was for the person to stay away from that crime that led the person to being sentenced in the first place, and then of course to remember him, as he leaves. Now that's the first story. Another story is the story of a man who married a woman, and every day he was stopped by the road, on the streets, people would tell him what and how they saw his wife doing with other men. Every day it was like that. This continued so many times. The wife had different men she was seeing, but the man didn't put her away. Was he hot? Yes, of course he was. He was hot. There were times he cried out, and wanted her out of his life, but he didn't. Emphasis on he didn't, not that he couldn't. And every time he would speak to her, concerning her whereabouts, she would lie. One day he went to look for her and caught her right in the act. He was pained, of course. The other man fled. The wife was ashamed, but he walked up to her and, he held her by the hand, pulled her closer, and dressed her up, and then he took her back home. He never cursed her or said hurtful words to her. Then it dawned on the woman that this was what true love was. Whether she went back to whatever it was she was doing then is not even the man. The thing is, she saw that this man truly loved her. Then she made a decision in her mind that she was going to try to be better. See, that's what true love can do. When you genuinely love a person, the person becomes a part of you that you can't cast away. Now, what about when they continue hurting you? Well, that's where you have to help them. You help them. Yes, you have to help them. You pray for them that they should find peace with whatever it is that is hurting them from within, and see the good in you, because you have the best in mind for them. People who hurt others are not ordinary people, and it is not a normal act. It shows there's a problem, inside of them, and it is not about you. No person with a sound mind would want to hurt another person willfully. So you pray for them. Then, if you've tried to communicate with them about the situation and nothing is changing, talk to their maker. He knows them better than anyone and can tighten that loose knot in their minds. Just like the first story, the man died in the place of his friend to live. That's Jesus Christ. The other man who wouldn't let go of his wife, that's Hosea. They proved that love isn't about you, but about the other person you claim to love. They are more about love, relationship, and loving yourself, which I'll share next time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do leave a comment if you find this video helpful, and also please share to someone who you know would be needing this. Today, I'll leave you with 3 movies that can help you take your love journey farther. And don't forget, successful people are problem solvers. Cheers.